Well, it's been a while since I've said this, but welcome to an episode of Spooner's Vlog. We're off globetrotting this time. We are heading to Bulgaria. First time I've ever been there. Meeting up with Wassim, the Korda account manager for that country. We're going to do a bit of fishing, obviously. We are going to visit some tackle shops, but ultimately, I want to catch my first ever Bulgarian carp. Let's go and catch a plane. We've got 3 rods going at once. Thankfully, we've got 3 nets set up. That's no name.
Oh, perfect.
We're obviously trying to catch a big catfish, and that is a massive hook bait. This little fella's been an interesting add to the story, haven't you, mate? It's a big carp, it's a better fish. Could be a busy trip, this. Go on, Wassim. I said all I want from this trip is a Bulgarian carp. What I'd also like is a bit of sunshine. I'm not going to lie.
A short flight from London Stansted brought us to Sofia, Bulgaria's capital city, where the next few days would be spent exploring one of Europe's up-and-coming carp fishing destinations.
So, it seems like I can't escape it. Since starting the Catch a UK 50 competition, I'm getting asked about it everywhere, and I'm on the bus, from the plane, in Bulgaria, and a carp angler over there has just said, I'm not going to catch a UK 50 here. Brilliant.
How you doing, mate? You good?
Happy to see you.
Thank you, mate. Good to see you. You good, buddy?
Okay.
How are you?
Good
Good to meet you, man.
To help us make the most of our time out here, we've met up with Wassim, Korda's man on the ground in Bulgaria and a proper carp fanatic. He's lined up one hell of a trip for us, from fishing an absolutely stunning lake to checking out a few local tackle shops and meeting the anglers behind Bulgaria's rapidly growing carp scene.
Right, so once we landed, we're waiting in the airport to come through, and Wassim kindly sent me a picture saying that a man has been mauled to death in Bulgaria for first fatal attack in 16 years. I've just sat here driving to the lake, sent it to Dovey, and he's put lol, and I'm going to swear, he put, I would love you to get attacked by a bear, it would make my week. That's not, you all think he's lovely, and he really isn't. He's a horrible, horrible human being. Well, he's fishing for the big one in the manor, the big fully scaled, might be 60 pound. I hope he loses it at the net. What about that, Tom? Idiot.
First stop on the road trip, Bersin Dam, around a 2-hour drive southwest of Sofia. Nestled at the foot of the mountains, it's an absolutely stunning lake with a serious head of carp, including fish to over 50 pound. Safe to say, with 4 days ahead of us, I was itching to get the rods out.
I've not even finished unloading my suitcase. When we got here, the guys next door, all right, they're using a bait boat. I'm not going to hold it against them, but they've just towed a rig out and they're already playing one, so that can only be a positive thing. I'm not using a bait boat though. It's not happening. I'd rather blank. I've encountered some issues though, where I'm fishing back home and it's a 2-rod water. One of my uprights is a different size and I've got no spare butt grip for the 3rd rod. I've left that in the side of my power porter.
But first, I needed to acquire some gear.
So have you got any single spares with you? Or if not, have you at the very least got a butt grip?
Wait, we have a brand new, we have a setup of singles if you want.
Perfect.
Oh, and I have a spare rod grip
There we go.
as well.
We're laughing. We're cooking on gas. Thank you.
And when are we going to negotiate the price for this?
At the end, always at the end.
Hopefully that's everything I need. Now, time to get a few rigs tied.
Can't believe it's raining. Come to Bulgaria, we thought. Nice and sunny.
I might have forgotten a few bits and pieces, but there's one thing I never travel light on: hook baits. With 3 of my favourites picked out, I was finally ready to get fishing.
Right, there's nothing here that's going to surprise you. I've got 3 spinner rigs going out, 7 inches of boom, all with crank hooks. I've got running leg clips on. Wassim has said that there's no snags to worry about. I don't need to drop the lead, so hopefully those 3 leads are going to last me the whole trip. And then hook bait choice, I've got a pom and pear on that one, little wafter. I've got a squid wafter there, and then I've got an isotonic pop-up. It's absolutely pouring. I'm going to get the rigs out first, and I'm going to bait over the top of them because I've already seen a bit of activity, and I've got a feeling that bait is the main feature. So having rigs underneath it as it's falling down could mean a quicker bite. Where's my finger still?
I was keeping things simple and put all 3 rods out in a line at 21 wraps. Now it was time for the bait.
Bit of a mixture going on. We've got 2 types of boilie in 2 different sizes. We've got 15mm and 18mm Isa fish and Isa sweet. I've chopped some up as well. Then I've got some tigers and I've got some pellet. It's the pellet that the fish are actually reared on and fed on, so it seems to make sense to add that into the mix. Let's get some out there. Maybe it will stop raining.
Wassim was also keeping it simple and was fishing his 3 spinner rigs close together in a line at about 80 yards from the bank. And after the rods are all set, it didn't take long for the carp to move in.
Right away. Didn't hear that. Too busy drinking a cup of tea.
Yeah, would you like me to try and land it for you?
That would be amazing.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I would love to do that.
Well, it's not taken that long at all, but we're doing battle with Bulgarian carp number 1. Wassim has decided to tell me that there's lots of grass carp in here.
I was keeping it in
So
a
I'll be
secret.
very pleased if it's not one of them.
No, it's a small common.
Yes! We're off the mark.
Well, Neil, congratulations on your first Bulgarian carp.
Thank you very much, mate. Number 1, the pom and pear, right hand side of the spot. I am going to get it straight back out, a few more spods, and then we'll have a look at the fish. Perfect.
On prolific, well-stocked waters like this, making the most of every feeding spell is so important. Quite often, it can be the difference between one bite and another one straight after.
Always got to get the rod back out first. Could be a busy trip, this. When you were here a couple of weeks ago, is there periods where it goes very quiet, or do they just pretty much once you start catching them, you keep catching them?
You can keep catching them.
Well netted, that man.
Yeah, that's better than the other one.
Bit bigger, that one. He felt
So-
it.
Slowly they are getting bigger
That's
and
it.
bigger.
Rod back out, bait topped up, and bang, another Bulgarian bite.
Neil, I'm gonna put this for a second here.
Okay,
and
that's a good idea.
Maybe grab some more landing nets.
Well, it's been a ridiculous start. 3rd bite already. We've not managed to photograph a single fish. It could be a crazy trip, this.
Oh, it's a nice fish.
What a netsman. Wait halfway out just to get him, just to save my arms. What a guy.
And it didn't stop there.
Well, you said it'd be prolific.
One more carp glided into the net to make it 4 carp on the bounce. What a start. With the feeding spell finally slowing down, it was time to have a proper look at the carp.
Right, well, let's be honest. It's not the biggest. It's certainly not the most prettiest, but it is still my very first Bulgarian carp, so we are off the mark. Nice quick start as well. Mwah.
The fish started off on the smaller side, but with every bite they seemed to get bigger and bigger.
Smack bang on £30. Nice. That would go nicely, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it's a good start.
£30.
It's a good start.
Well, that has been a crazy spell of action. 4 fish already, topped by this brute at bang on £30. And as it stands, that is my Bulgarian PB.
While I'd got off to an absolute flyer, Wassim hadn't had a sniff. But as darkness fell, my bites dried up and it looked like the carp had switched spots, because they were now feeding over Wassim's bait.
How does it feel, Wassim?
Let's say, I cannot say it's a big one. I would love to.
yeah, but you're not allowed. Yes!
Yes, get in.
Well done, mate.
Thank you, mate.
Well done, mate. Both spots doing bites now.
Yep, it's fish number 5 for both of us.
And like you said, once it gets dark, the bites slow down, but they tend to be a better stamp, and that's exactly what that is. So yeah, whilst sleep would be good, I'll be more than happy for it to be
Sleep.
interrupted by some more
A
big
big
carp.
one.
Yeah, exactly.
Hopefully we will sleep once we get home.
Yeah, exactly.
And we will continue catching
Work to be done here first.
some more carps.
And sure enough, we did get some more action, although it wasn't quite what we were expecting.
It's a small catfish.
Catfish.
Yeah, a small one.
Okay, I've just landed a relatively small catfish, but what I've heard is that in this lake there are some absolute monsters, like over 2.5 meters long, 70 odd kilo. What's that? 150, 160 pound. Dovey would have already caught it if he was here. Oh, he's a fat one, isn't he?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
And it's an ugly one. Ah.
Okay, we are reset. 3 rods back on the spot. I'll get some bait out in a second and hope that we can get the bobbins moving nice and early.
And it didn't take long before the action kicked off again.
Didn't even have time to clip the bobbins on, look. But team targets. Now, we've had them up to 30 pounds so far. They've obviously spawned recently. You can tell that by the shape of the fish. They're very, very empty. I think as a team target, if between me and Wassim we can catch a 35 pounder, I reckon that'll be a really big fish. There are much bigger carp in here, but the bigger ones are few and far between. So we've got a couple of targets actually. I want to try and catch a 35 pounder. Every single fish so far has been a common, so it'd be lovely to catch a mirror. And something you will never hear from me normally, there are some ginormous catfish in here, like 2.5 meters long, 180 pound plus. There is a very good chance I'm going to have a go for one of them. Just on sort of conventional carp tactics, just feed big boilies, a bit of pellet, and maybe fish like 3 20 millers on a hair. It'd be quite exciting if that goes, wouldn't it?
I see that you're doing very well.
Yeah.
Maybe you can do it alone with the big catfish as well.
That'll be different, that'll be at night.
Yeah, and I'll be sleeping for sure.
Yeah, I wouldn't blame you. But
I'm
still
gonna
playing
look
this
it.
one, and now the middle rod is absolutely churning. Go on, Wassim.
Yeah, I'm gonna nail it.
Double bubble.
Wassim wasn't wrong. This place really is prolific. The carp had definitely moved in and they were clearly on the munch.
Now you understand why we needed so many landing nets.
It's all beginning to kick off now. So I've been playing this one now for probably 15 minutes. My middle rod then went off, which Wassim is playing, and then his middle rod has also gone. We've got 3 rods going at once. Thankfully, we've got 3 nets set up, but there are still 2 live rods out there, so I've got a funny feeling one of them's gonna go and all. Hey! Right, let's try and sort out all of this. Lovely. The last one's away. First grassy. Oh no, oh no. Is he gonna go crazy?
What incredible fishing. We ended up landing 3 carp between us, plus a little grass carp that quickly jumped out of the net. The other 2 we weighed. Wassim's carp tipped the scales at 27.5 pounds, and mine was very similar.
27.5.
He's 27.5. What are the chances? Hanging around together, they're like best bros. Well, look at that. 2 very different looking carp. The 2 biggest from that mad flurry of action, but they both weigh exactly the same. Even out, my scales are broke. 27.5 pound of 2 very hard fighting commons. Let's sort your fish out, Wassim.
And
Come
still
on.
fighting.
He's
you
on
know.
telly now, mate.
After that hectic spell, it was time to get the rods back on the spots and top the bait back up, hoping the action would continue and that one of our target fish was just around the corner.
Neil,
Yeah,
we can make a bet.
go on.
I know you like them bets. Do you want to do it like this? Whoever catches the first mirror, the other one is going to prepare a tea for him. A cup of tea.
Yeah, I'm in.
Sounds good.
100%.
I'll have a good story to tell my lads later. You know, Neil prepared a tea for me. Yeah, it's a nice little mirror.
Better not be. I don't want to bet over that quickly.
Bring the stove.
It's a little common,
Oh,
tiny one. You should do a forfeit because it's so small.
bring back the stove.
Now, it's been pretty relentless all morning for bites. With me and Wassim have had quite a few between us, but in the last 2, maybe 3 hours, it's gone very quiet. So I've just taken the opportunity to reel them all in, check all the rigs, and have a little play around with hook baits as well. Whilst I just think the fish might have come up in the water or moved off, there's nothing wrong with having a little play around. So I've gone with a squid pop-up on this one. First one, I've put a pink hook bait out there, I think. Now I've been feeding, in the last 24 hours or so, I've fed a lot of boilie, a lot of the isosweet, a lot of the isofish. So I've put an isosweet hook bait on, just tipped with a little bit of corn, and then one that's probably done the most bites since we've been here, the Pom and Pear little dumbbell wafter. Rig-wise, I'll show it to you, you know what it is. It's a spinner rig. I've got 7 inches of 25-pound boom to a PTFE spinner swivel, a crank size 4 with a little medium hook swivel on there as well. And then the lead clip set up, it's my favourite. It's a running lead clip, so when the carp picks it up, that lead just slides away, and I really think it makes it hard for them to get rid of that hook. Easy to set up. I've got a dark matter action pack lead clip. It comes with the tubing, comes with the lead clip, the tail rubber and the swivels, and it gives me the versatility of this hook bait. If it did happen to be a particularly snaggy area, I could put a pin into that lead clip so that the lead would fall off on the take. But as I said, I don't need to do that here, so it's quite simply free running. It's simple stuff. I use it all the time. It's tried and tested, but I use it all the time for a reason. The bottom out there is firm. I know that that is going to be presented. I know it's very, very efficient. It's almost tangle free. If a fish picks it up and does get away with it, it resets itself. It's as close for me to the ultimate presentation on the bottom that I can get. So let's get them back out there, a little bit more bait, and see if we can find them bigger ones.
With the rigs back out and everything working exactly as planned, the afternoon soon settled into a familiar pattern.
We got an angry one.
The first of our afternoon bites weighed in at 26.5 pounds, and the bites just kept on coming.
That's got grassy written all over it, that. This is 100% cat or grassy. I'm going grassy. You pop her back in.
The carp are well and truly here in numbers, and it was hard just keeping 3 rods in the water.
Definitely not you, no. Good morning, everyone. I'm going to be honest, my last 3 bites, once they happened, I reeled the rods in to get some sleep because we've got quite a long day away from the lake today, visiting a tackle shop. But I couldn't resist getting up early, getting the rods back out for an hour or two's fishing, few spots of bait, and it hasn't taken long before hooking one. And do you know what? I'm going to make a call. I reckon one of them others is going to go before I land this one, because this is battling hard.
The morning did not disappoint, and after landing the first carp of the day, I had 2 more bites in quick succession.
It's not a mirror, isn't it?
Not a mirror, I was hoping.
Yay!
Boom.
With 3 more commons landed, the mirrors seemed to be extremely rare, and I wanted that cup of tea.
It's the perfect start to any day, no matter where you are in the world. The sun's shining, a few quick bites, topped by this lovely common at 27 1/4. I'm going to get this one back though. The rods are all reeled in, going to get changed and make my way to my first Bulgarian tackle shop. It's going to be a good day.
The first tackle shop on our tour was a 3-hour drive to the city of Plovdiv, home to one of Bulgaria's biggest fishing tackle shops.
Well, fresh off the bank from putting them lovely carp back this morning, we are now at, I know what that tackle shop says, but why don't you tell everyone just to be sure?
The shop, the beautiful shop of Bersin Dam. Bersin Dam.
That's right, Bersin Dam, that's where we are today. So we're going to go in there now. Look, we've got cameras waiting for us already. They're doing your job for you, Mike.
Yeah.
We'll see you in there.
This is Stanisław.
You good?
The
Nice
shop
to see you.
manager.
Very good. Welcome to our shop.
Thank you, it's lovely. It's
Oh.
big.
Yeah, it's big.
Yeah, it's a good shop.
Not big enough.
Oh, you want
Not
bigger?
big enough.
Yeah?
Yeah, we want bigger.
The shop was really well stocked with all the latest Korda gear, and it was brilliant to meet so many passionate local anglers, swap stories, share a few tips, and answer plenty of carp fishing questions.
We have a challenge for you.
Oh God, go on.
You just have to tell what's the flavor of this.
Okay,
Close.
Oh,
yeah,
God.
close.
All right.
Close. Yeah.
that's no name.
Oh, perfect.
We even got to sample some traditional Bulgarian bread, something the locals often share with friends. Add a little of the spice mix and you've got a pretty tasty snack.
Do you like the food in Bulgaria?
Very good.
There was just one more thing to do before we left the shop. Find ourselves some catfish bait.
Oh. So, we're obviously trying to catch a big catfish, and that is a massive hook bait. If we put 2 of them on a hair, 1 rod on that, maybe 1 rod on 2 or 3 20mm isofish, load of pellet over the top, load of big boilie over the top. It's got to catch a cat in it. We're going to have a go.
Catfish bait all sorted, time to say goodbye and head back to the lake.
Thanks so much for your hospitality. It's been lovely.
Back at the lake, we got the rods straight back out, both chasing our first 35-pounder, that elusive mirror carp, and of course, that cup of tea. But as the sun dipped below the horizon, another very big target had my full attention.
So, we are going catfishing. I don't know the first thing about it. I'm essentially fishing for catfish using carp tactics. So I picked up some bits in the shop today. I've got some wide gape X size 2s. I've got some massive hook baits on this one that I picked up in the shop today. There's 2, I think they were 30 millers. And then on this one, I've got 3 20mm isofish boilies. So both of them are going to go out on the spot, on a different spot. And I'm feeding a mixture of this. I mean, look at that oily goodness. There's a load of the 20mm isofish in there. There's a load of pellet that we picked up today, covered in a stinky, fishy, oily liquid. If I was to put that out whilst fishing for carp on lakes that have got catfish in, I would be convinced that I would catch a catfish. So it seems logical to put about half a bucket of it out, 2 rods over the top, because the carp fishing at night is not that prolific. So let's go for something a bit mental, a massive catfish. Let's do it.
The catfish rods were in position. Now it was just a case of seeing what the night had in store.
Well, there we go. We now have 2 out for carp and 1 out for cats. I am going to be quite excited if that cat rod goes. It's going to be great.
And we didn't have to wait long until the catfish rig was away.
Had a bite on one of the catfish rods. It weren't quite the screaming take I was expecting. It doesn't feel very catfish-like. Feels like a very small carp. What is he playing at? I don't even think it's that big. What is going on?
You know,
It's tiny. Unbelievable.
The catfish never showed up overnight, but one of the cat rods did produce another carp. And this one turned out to be potentially my biggest one yet.
Right, now I had hoped when this rod went off it was going to be a catfish, but it wasn't. But it could be. It's a big carp, it's a better fish. It is, it's the biggest one we've had. So that journey, that sort of putting that pellet out, putting the big hook baits on has worked, because that is 32.5 pounds. A little step closer to the carp target. Get in. Well, have a look at that for an absolute cracker. The biggest one yet, 32.5 pounds, and it come on 2 of those 26mm hook baits that we got from the shop yesterday. And it's made me think, whilst I do still want to try and catch a catfish, what I'm now thinking is even over the normal bait I've been putting out, it might be worth persevering with some big hook baits, because it might just help single out some of the bigger carp that are swimming around out there. Worry about that later though. Look at that cracker. Now this little fella's been an interesting add to the story, haven't you, mate? I think it was on day 2. He just turned up. We thought he'd turned up with an angler that had come to see us, but no, he's a stray. We don't know where from. He's clearly only a puppy, and he's stayed with us ever since, haven't you, mate? But he's a lovely, lovely little dog. But the great news is, whilst he is a stray, the guy that owns the lake has agreed to keep him. He's going to be looking after him, so he might have walked into the swim astray, but now he's got a new family, haven't you, mate? Hey, my kids. I've been sending videos to my kids. They are desperate for me to bring him home. They think I can just put him in my suitcase and take him. If I could, I would do that.
It was time to reel the rods in, put our T-bet on hold and head to our second tackle shop.
let's go, mate.
Let's do it.
Up to the next shop, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Next stop, Sofia, around 2 hours up the road and home to one of Bulgaria's dedicated carp fishing shops, Carp Fever. The welcome was just as warm as before. We met more passionate local anglers, talked plenty of carp fishing, grabbed a few photos, and before long, it was time to head back to the lake for one final night. As soon as we got back, we were told that the zigs had been doing all the bites. We wasted no time getting a couple out, and within seconds of casting, I was away.
Yeah. So we got back down to the lake. Now Wassim's friend has stayed down. He's been recasting Wassim's rods, putting a bit of bait out on the bottom and had absolutely nothing. So I've come back, I've tied up a 19-foot zig, which will be sitting about 3 foot below the surface. And it's gone as I was putting the bobbin on. So they are definitely up in the water. I didn't expect to bite that quickly. If it's going to be that bonkers for the rest of the day though, this could be our best chance of catching a 35 pounder. If we can get this many bites this quickly, it's game on. A mirror, a 35 pounder, catfish tonight.
Yeah, it's a grass carp.
Do you know, I thought it looked like a grass carp. They're not meant to eat up in the water. No, me legs! You could have caught that.
Yeah, with my head.
Good luck with that, mate. Nice amount of line. What I would say, ordinarily, if I was fishing at 17 wraps in 22 foot of water, I would fish adjustable zigs. But a lot of Wassim's fishing and a lot of the fishing they do in Bulgaria is match style fishing, match carp fishing. And I don't know why, but adjustable zigs are banned or not allowed. So he doesn't have that sort of kit. It's not the sort of kit you can get readily available over here. And when you're flying out, you bring minimal kit, so you don't bring all of your normal stuff. So a fixed 19 foot zig, whilst not ideal, it's all I can do in the current situation.
These incredibly long zigs can be a nightmare to cast, but luckily I had my zig magnet. It keeps the hook pin safely in place, making the whole job much easier. And what went on next was a masterclass in spodding over zigs for grass carp.
Ready?
As much fun as those quick bites were, we just couldn't get through the grassies. So, as evening crept in, it was time to swap back onto big boilies and hope for either a bigger carp or an absolute monster of a catfish.
Right, it's the last night, so the big double hook baits are going back on there on all 3 rods tonight. We are hoping for either a massive catfish or, like this morning, a bigger carp. We are trying to hedge our bets to get everything in order to catch something massive. So let's get it out and then put a load of that stinky mix out as well.
Later that night, Wassim was away on the double boilies too, but it was pretty clear this wasn't the big carp we'd been waiting for.
The speed you're reeling that in, I've got a horrible feeling it's a grassy.
Yeah. But the run wasn't.
No, the run was great.
Yeah. And I saw the take. I saw it went a bit down and then slowly up.
It's not ideal. I've got to make Wassim a cup of tea.
Yeah.
It's a mirror.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yay! I told you, mate.
You've told me that every bite you've had.
That's true as well.
Oh, well done, mate. That's quality. We wanted one of them, didn't we? Can't believe this. This means I've got to make the tea in the morning.
Oh, yes. I know it's hard to believe because it's been like 50 fishes so far.
I didn't think it was going to happen, but this could be the start of breaking the record. So Mirror's done, over 35 pounder later, and maybe a 200 pound catfish on my rods that Wassim's going to have to land. This is just the beginning. You've started it. It's your fault.
I'll do that for you, mate.
Here you go, sir, your prize. A proper English cup of tea.
Thank you, Neil.
My pleasure.
Oh, and
What?
there's some extras.
Extras?
It's with milk.
Oh yeah?
Yeah,
English
good.
cup of tea.
Oh,
Yeah. We don't really, well, some people drink it black, but not many.
thank you, Neil. You're a man of your word.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You've made enough for me, to be fair, already, with or without a mirror. Last morning.
Yeah,
I better get the rods
unfortunately.
back out properly.
Maybe at the last moment we'll have the 35 pounder.
That's how it
I was
happens.
thinking about.
That's how it happens. Never give up.
With a well-earned cup of tea inside us, we refreshed the rods, topped the spots back up with bait, and, just like before, it didn't take long for the carp to move back
Yeah,
in.
you will be happy. It's a carp.
It's a nice one.
Yeah.
It's a better one.
With Wassim's carp safely landed, it wasn't long before one of my rods was away too.
Will this turn out to be the last bite in Bulgaria? We're coming right towards the end of the trip. There might be a couple of hours left, but it has been very quiet today. perseverance has paid off. We've hooked one, and do you know what? It's fighting pretty well. Taking a bit of line.
Neil, do you think it's like 35, 36?
Could be.
6,
Could
7?
be. 6, 7. He's doing a great deal. It's taking more line now. Imagine like a 25 kilo. Imagine that popping up. Big, fat, round common, not spawned yet. Last of the big females, waiting to go. And she decided to have a last minute snack of a little yellow isotonic pop-up. That would be mental, wouldn't it?
That would be amazing.
Oh, it wasn't that small. What are we saying?
I'm not saying it. I'm only smiling.
With 2 carp on the bank on our final morning, it looked like we'd saved 2 of the very best until last.
I've finished on my classic weight, 27.12. And that one is 31.5. Nice. That is pretty much the perfect end. A big 20, a low 30 for Wassim, and it's just put the cherry on the cake on what has been a fantastic trip. Loads and loads of carp caught on a few different methods and a couple of different rigs, visiting some of the tackle shops as well. I've thoroughly enjoyed my first trip to Bulgaria, and I can tell you what, Wassim, it won't be my last. I'll be back.
Thank you for being here. It was my pleasure, mate.
Thanks for all your
I
help,
hope
mate.
you'll be here again.
We'll be back, don't worry.
Thank you.